Monday morning from my living room. I spent all week last week in New York, and it feels so good to be home. New York, it's definitely an experience. I had fun. We walked around the city. I was able to take Manny on my work trip, and we went to Comic-Con up there, and we ended up having a really good time. But man, I gotta tell you, nothing feels like home. I feel like especially whenever there's such a dramatic difference from what you're used to where you go, like Florida living versus New York living are completely two different styles of living. And I feel like because I was there for like a week, you know, when I was working up there, so I was like in my routine but not in my routine, it just was very interesting. And I mean, I had fun and it was an experience, but I am so glad to be back home. I think the last time I actually vlogged was the Friday before we left, and I told you that Dr. Roma tried to do the SIS but ended up failing. So I did get in touch with her, and I do have my appointment set up with him for the SIS to try again. So we've already got it set up and everything is scheduled, and I just kind of have to wait. It's not until next week. It's literally another week of waiting. But I think I mentioned before, this is kind of like a good thing too, because this way the doctor that's going to actually do my transfer will be able to see like how difficult my cervix is and if he feels comfortable, you know, even moving forward with a transfer. I think it's somewhat a blessing in disguise that she wasn't able to do it. The only thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't hinder anything, is if it pushes back our transfer date. That's the only thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't let it push it back, because as of right now, I'm tentatively on the list for a December transfer. But if he does the SIS, I don't know if that means that I will be one of the last ones to be scheduled on the list. And I don't know if that means that I won't be able to be scheduled in December. I just don't know. So I might reach out and ask Roma if she thinks that this is gonna push back the timeline. She really couldn't tell me whenever I was there with her doing the SIS, like when I would be able to be scheduled. They really don't know. They're not part of the scheduling team, so I don't know. I just don't know. I'm really hoping that I can still do a transfer in December, but I don't know. But I have been on birth control the entire time. I do still have my prescription for the other one. I forget what it's called, but it's the one that I'm going to be taking instead of regular birth control to minimize any endometriosis flare-up for transfer. I already have that prescription. I'm just not taking it right now. I told Roma that I wanted to wait until I got back from New York to see if we needed to go ahead and start taking that one, because I've heard that it can cause like weird side effects. Like you can get really tired, you can get really nauseous, your appetite sometimes gets funky, and I just didn't want to risk any of that while I was in New York on a work trip. So I'm going to talk to her about potentially getting on it now. But from my understanding, the reason I'm on birth control is to keep my lining thin so that we can do the SIS. And if we can do the SIS next week, maybe I can come off birth control and switch to the other one for the month of November to kind of like prep and get ready for a transfer in December. I don't know. These are just my thoughts, my hopes, but I really don't know. So for now, I'm just kind of like waiting until I can get my SIS done, kind of trying to find my routine again. The room still smells a little funky. I don't know if you remember, but we had some water intrusion in the baseboards of the office, so it smells a little funky. We got a dehumidifier and ran it in there, and I do have like one of those humidity bucket things that you like put in closets and stuff, and it has soaked up a little bit of water through the air, like the moisture in the air. So I'm trying to do like everything that I can do in my power to make it not smell weird in there, but I don't know, it's just a little funky. So I think Manny's gonna bring home a super smell thing. I don't know. He said that they use it whenever like a car smells like cigarette smoke, or if there like needs to be a total cleanup for a building or something. So I'm hoping that it will take the smell out, but I don't know. And that potentially is going to be like our baby room too. So I'm just like we got to get that fixed. Whatever's going on in there, we got to get that fixed. Despite all that, it still feels really good to be home and kind of finding my routine, my normal routine, recenter and like refocus everything. Because for a little while it was like IVF got put on hold, you know, the hurricane damage got put on hold, like life just kind of like paused here because we were literally in New York for a week. So now I'm like, okay, let's get back to reality kind of thing. The in-between is like the most awkward and unfortunate part of this entire journey. Good morning. It is Thursday. I have just been doing the normal routine daily and nothing worth vlogging, I guess. But it's so interesting, this journey, because I feel like everything is like rushed. Like you're doing the injections daily and you're doing all the appointments and you're doing the blood draws and you're doing everything. And then all of a sudden it all just stops after the egg retrieval and you're just kind of like waiting around for the next thing to happen. And it's just so weird because it feels like this journey is like go. And then all of a sudden it's just like everything stops. Just complete utter boop stop. It's just the weirdest thing. But you have to continue, you know, life like you normally would. Life goes on, but it's just like this whole huge part of your life is just now not happening anymore. And it's just very, very strange to like have this huge part of your life, this expectation that you still have for your life that is going to happen, just kind of like in the background, kind of waiting to happen. It's just very strange. Well, good morning. It is Saturday, and this past week was really just about settling back into my routine, trying to get back into the office after the hurricane messed it up, trying to get back into routine after New York, just really figuring out life again. And I feel like we did that pretty well, you know, getting things back on track, making sure that all the appointments were made and handled and everything, but we haven't really done any fall activities other than visiting New York with Manny and myself and having sort of like a cold week with them. We haven't really done any like fall things. So I thought today would be a great day for a little distraction, a little family time, and just a little bit of time to get out of the house. So I think what we want to do today is to find a pumpkin patch, then maybe go to Disney and see the fall decor there because they are about to take it down. They're about to clean it up and switch it over to Christmas decorations. So I'd kind of like to go see it before they make the switch. I figured today could be just a fun get out of the house, do stuff day. And then tomorrow we have a birthday party. It'll be bowling for Tristan, so that'll be nice and fun. So happy Saturday. I hope your day is going wonderful. No way it was the last night. Good morning. It is Sunday. I'm getting ready for the birthday party that we were scheduled for. We did end up making it to Disney yesterday. Didn't really vlog too much because it was our first time being back in a while and we just kind of wanted to take it in and kind of enjoy it together as a family. So that's what we did. But it was really fun. It was really packed last night. I wasn't anticipating it to be so busy, but we still had a good time. We ended up not going to a pumpkin patch. We saw the fall decorations at Disney, so I was like, it's not a big deal if we don't do the pumpkin patch. This upcoming week, I do have my SIS scheduled. I'm kind of like trying to prep for that, meaning like getting the house kind of at a good standpoint, good working order, so I don't have to do like too much physical activity after the SIS. Not that it's like a major procedure or anything, it's just I know with my cervix specifically, I tend to get a little more pain than typical. It takes a little bit more manipulation for them to get through the cervix. Hopefully he'll be able to get through. This is the same procedure that Dr. Roma tried to do before I left for New York and wasn't able to do it. So hopefully the doctor that I see on, I think it's Wednesday, will be able to do this. Almost every doctor that I've seen has told me is that my cervix is extremely sensitive and tender, and Dr. Roma gave me a little bit more insight to it. She thinks that it is my C-section scar that's causing the problems. Pretty sure the only way to get rid of scar tissue like that is a surgery, and they weren't suggesting that for me yet because Dr. P was able to get through without a problem for both my IUI and the catheter checks that he did with me. So hoping that the new doctor will have the same success. I won't know until he tries, obviously, but hopefully all will be well. I've been like feeling weird lately, just kind of like out of place. And I think it's a combination of like trying to go back into routine and also the birth control that I'm still on. I don't know. It's just, I just have been feeling off lately, and I don't really know why. So this coming week, I'm really gonna try to focus on regaining my routine and, I don't know, making myself feel like back to normal as possible right now. I told you the other day that the in-between of this process is so weird because I have like all of these expectations of what my life is gonna look like and like what I'm about to experience and like, you know, everything that's about to start happening, but it's not happening yet. So I just have to kind of like wait for it to happen, and it's just a weird thing to wait for. I don't know, for me at least. I feel like I'm just in a season of like expectation right now because I'm not scheduled for a transfer yet. I haven't completed all the steps necessary to start the transfer process. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I did like a hurry up and wait kind of situation, and it's just hard. It's hard to keep your steady mind whenever you're like in this rush, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually no, never mind, stop rushing. It's fine, everything's fine, just stop, slow down. And I'm like, wait, what? Huh?